Hare Krishna, everyone. Welcome to the series on Krishna Līlā, titled as Venugopala Krishna Līlā in Vrindavana, or Vraja Līlā Sudhā, the nectar of Vraja Līlā. Vraja means Vrindavan. So Krishna's pastimes, Krishna Līlā in Vrindavan. All of us know some of the Leelas that Krishna performed in Vrindavan in bits and pieces. But we want to discuss some of those Leelas in this call every day, 8:30 to 10, 8:30 to 9:30 or 10, whatever is the time, Monday to Friday, in a detailed manner. And this will help us set the mood for preparation for Janmāṣṭamī, which is coming up on September 4th. So, but before that, I will recite some shlokas from Govinda Damodara Stotram. Because Govinda Damodara Stotram, composed by Leela Shuka Bilvamangal Thakur, is full of Krishna Leela. It's all about Vrindavan Leela. So let's recite some of those shlokas and then we will start our discussion today. So for about 10 minutes or so, I will recite these shlokas and then we can start the actual discussion for today. Śrī Līlā Shuka Bilvamangala Thakura Virachita Govinda Damodara Stotram. Agre Kuruna Mata Pandavanam Dushyasanena Hritavastrakesha Krishna Tadhakrosha Dhananyanata Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Śrī Kṛṣṇa Vishno Madhukaita Bhare Bhaktanukampin Bhagavan Murare Trayasva Mam Keshavalokanatha Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Vikretu Kama Kila Gopakanya Murari Padarpita Chitta Vritti Dadyadikam Mohavashadhavochat Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Ulukhale Sambhrutatandhulascha Sanghattayantyo Musalai Pramugdaha Gayanti Gopyo Janitanuraga Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Kachit Karambhoja Pute Nishannam Krida Shukam Kim Shukaratatundam Adhyapayamasa Saroruhakshi Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Gruhe Gruhe Gopavadhu Samoha Pratikshanam Pinjarasarikanam Skaladghiram Vachayitum Pravritto Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Paryankika Bhajamalam Kumaram Prasvapayantyo Khila Gopakanyah Jagu Prabandham Swaratala Govinda Damodara Madhaveti Ramanujam Vikshanakelililolam Gopi Grihitva Navanita Golam आभालकं भालकमाजुहाव गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति विचित्रवर्णाभरणाभिरामे बिभेदि वक्त्राम्बुजराजहंसे सदा मधीये रसनेग्ररङ्गे गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति अङ्काधिरूढं शिशुगोपगूढं स्तनं धयन्तं कमलैककान्तं सम्बोधयामास मुदा यशोदा गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति क्रीडन्तमन्तर्वजमात्मनं स्वं समं वयस्यै पशुपालभालैः प्रेम्णा यशोदा प्रजुहाव कृष्णं गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति यशोदया गाढमुलूखलेन गोकण्ठपाशेन निबध्यमानं रुरोदमन्दं नवनीतभोजी गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति निजाङ्गणे कङ्कणकेलिलोलं गोपी गृहीत्वा नवनीतगोलम् आमर्धयत्पाणितलेन नेत्रे गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति गृहे गृहे गोपवधूकदम्भा सर्वे मिलित्वा समवाययोगे पुण्यानि नामानि पठन्ति नित्यम् गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति मन्दारमाले वदनाभिरामं बिम्बाधरे पूरितवेणुनादं गोगोपगोपीजनमद्य संस्थं गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति उत्थाय गोप्यो पररात्रभोगे स्मृत्वा यशोदा सुतबालकेलिं गायन्ति प्रोच्चैर्दधिमन्थयन्त्यो गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति झक्तो तदत्तो नवनीतपिण्डो गृहे यशोदा विचिकित्सयन्ती उवाच सत्यं वद हे मुरारे गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति अभ्यर्चगेऽहं युवती प्रवृद्धा प्रेम प्रवाहाधरि निर्ममन्था गायन्ति गोप्योत सखी समेता गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति क्वचित् प्रभाते दधिपूर्णपात्रे निक्षिप्य मन्थं युवती मुकुन्दम् आलोक्य गानं विविधं करोति गोविन्द दामोदर माधवेति क्रीडापरं भोजनमज्जनार्थं हितैषी स्त्री तनुजं यशोदा आजुहवत् prema pariplutakshi Govinda Damodara Madhaveti. Govinda Govinda Hare Murare Govinda Govinda Mukunda Krishna Govinda Govinda Radhanga Pane Govinda
Govinda
Damodara Madhaveti. Yeah, let's all sing this shloka together. I'll recite one line at a time and please repeat after me. Govinda Govinda Hare Murare
Govinda
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 Hare
Hare
Murare
Murare
Govinda Govinda Mukunda Krishna
Govinda
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 Mukunda
Mukunda
Krishna
Krishna
Govinda Govinda Radhanga Pane
Govinda
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 Radhanga
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 Pani
Pani
Govinda Damodara Madhaveti.
Govinda
Govinda
Damodara
Damodara
Madhaveti
Madhaveti
Govinda Damodara Madhaveti.
Govinda
Govinda
Damodara
Damodara
Madhaveti.
Madhaveti.
Okay, so now we'll continue with our discussion on Krishna Līlā series. This is one of the most difficult topics, Krishna Līlā. Difficult in the sense not to speak, not to hear, not to understand, not to relish. Everything is sweet. It's most relishable. In fact, it is the most relishable of all the kathas, of all the leelas, of all the other philosophies. This is the Krishna Līlā is the most. Krishna Līlā in Vrindavan is the most relishable. But for a speaker, it is the most difficult task. Why? You don't know where to begin. So since yesterday, I have been doing, some contemplation. Where to start? Because it's an ocean. What are the characteristics of an ocean? When you look at the ocean, what do you feel? Where is the beginning? Where is the end? This is the first question that comes to your mind. And there are high tide waves. As you are looking at the ocean, there are high tide waves. That's all you can see. So you don't know where to begin, what to speak, where to begin. It is such a, see, the Krishna, Vishnu Anantam, Vishnu Līlā Anantam. And Krishna Anantam, Krishna Līlā Anantam. Within the subject matter of Krishna Līlā, that Krishna performed in Vrindavan, Dwaraka, Mathura, Kurukshetra and all other places, Jagannath, Purushottam Kshetra, Jagannath Puri. Among all these Leelas, the Leelas Krishna performed in Vrindavan are most special. But within that Vrindavan Leela, the Vraja Līlā, it is a difficult task for the speaker to figure out where to begin, what to speak, where to begin. But let me make an attempt. So, but I'm going to start this series in an interesting way. When you watch some high budget movies, so much hyped up movies, for example, Bahubali 1, Bahubali 2, something like that, right? So what happened in the beginning, what happened in the middle, what happened in the end, you don't understand when you see it for the first time. And when you see both parts only, then it makes sense to you. So like that, I'm going to twist and turn. I'm going to present it in a different way. Now, when I start this series, or let's say I'm not speaking here, but somebody else is speaking. For example, my Guru Maharaj, my spiritual master, Radhanath Swami Maharaj is speaking, let's say. Let's say he has announced a Krishna Līlā series. So what will be my expectation? My expectation will be that Maharaj will start speaking from Krishna's birth and how Krishna started growing up, how Krishna killed various demons, all of those. And I'm sure that is your expectation too. Everyone on this call now, that is what you must be expecting too. But I'm going to start this from the very end. Instead of starting from Krishna Avirbhava, we will get there. We'll come back to Krishna Avirbhava. But I'm going to start with Krishna Tirobhava Leela, the disappearance of Krishna. Krishna going back to his Svadhama, that Leela. Krishna ending his avatara in Dwapara Yuga. We're going to begin with that. And I'm not going to reveal now in the next few minutes until I speak a little bit about Krishna Tirobhava Leela. So I'm going to leave you all on a cliffhanger to keep guessing what could it be. Why are we starting this series from the end instead of from the beginning? Why are we starting it from the end, 11th canto? Instead of starting from 10th canto. 10th canto is where Krishna's Leelas in Vrindavan are described. But instead of starting from 10th canto, I'm starting from 11th canto. So after a few minutes, you will know why I'm discussing this. And it's going to be a heart-touching thing actually. It's going to be a very heart-touching thing. Not because Krishna is ending his Leela, not because Krishna is, is going back to his Svadhama. That is not the reason. So, but there is something very beautiful, which is very heart-touching. So keep up the suspense. And Aparna, I need your help to read a lot of English paragraphs. Okay, are you ready?
Sure, Prabhuji.
Okay. So we're going to read for the next few minutes. We're going to read from Canto 11, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 11, Chapter 1, the curse upon the Yadu dynasty. So if some of you do not know how Krishna ended his Leela in the Dwapara Yuga. Krishna, after killing all the demons in Vrindavan, in Mathura, after killing all the demons, including Kamsa, all those demons, then Krishna thought it is time for me to end my Leela. And after killing Kamsa and all, then there was a Kurukshetra battle where all the Kurus were killed by the divine arrangement. All the Kurus were killed. So everybody thought all the Rakshasas, all the demoniac people, all the adharmic people on the Prithvi, they were destroyed, and the burden on Prithvi is released now. Prithvi bharanasho mukundaha Shri Vallabheti Varadeti Daya Pareti Bhakta Priyeti Bhavalundana Kovideti Nateti Nagashayaneti Jagannivase Tyalapinam Pratidinam Kurumam Mukunda Jayatu Jayatu Devo Devaki Nandanoyam Jayatu Jayatu Krishno Vrishnivaṁsha Pradipaha Jayatu Jayatu Megha-shyamala Komalango Jayatu Jayatu Prithvi Bharanasho Mukundaha. Huh? Thank you, Amma. I'm very glad. I'm very happy that you also know Mukundamala Stotras.
My grandfather used to teach when we were young.
Oh, what a
That
what a
that
what a
that
great
that,
thing to
that
hear.
reminds me few of them, not everything, but few of the lines, few of the stanzas.
Yeah. So let us all give a big round of applause to Amma.
It's
Show your
not great.
appreciation to her.
No, it's not great. We are all
No, we are happy. We
best.
are expressing our happiness.
Thank you.
Yeah. Because just yesterday only we completed the discussion of Mukundamala Stotra.
Mm.
For the last 1 year we have been discussing this. And so today when I hear from you reciting Mukundamala Stotra, that gives us so much joy.
I played it before coming to the meeting in the YouTube.
Okay.
Full Mukunda Mala Sutra, I heard.
Okay.
Whatever I missed, I didn't want to miss it forever. That's why.
Yeah. Thank you. See, you all heard from Prema Vinjamuri Amma, right? That she heard Mukundamala Stotra from her grandparents. So look at the beauty and the history of Mukundamala Stotra. Now, Srividya yesterday, remember Srividya yesterday at the end of the call you were asking.
Yeah, Prabhuji.
So,
What was the background today?
what will be the backdrop in the temple today? Because every time when we end some series in a grand way, like Gajendra Stuti, when we ended, there was a great miracle that happened in the temple. So, I went to the temple today. There was a backdrop, beautiful backdrop, full of all crowns, full of all big crowns, kiritams. I'll send a picture later, but that reminded me of Kulashekara Alvar,
Yeah.
who was a king. In all our slides in Mukundamala Stotra, you will see Kulashekara Alvar's picture with crown only. He is a king. That is definitely a miracle, but more than that, the biggest miracle is hearing Mukundamala Stotra from Prema Vinjamuri Amma. She learned from her grandparents. She herself is in 70 or 80s now probably, and she heard it from her grandparents. So look at the arrangement of Kulashekara Alvar and Krishna.
What we learn in younger age will stay for longer period.
It will stay for longer period. Yeah, yeah. And so especially when we see elderly, respected people like this, who have taste, interest on stuti, stotrams, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita like this, that gives us inspiration. So thank you, Amma, for that.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So now, Prithvi Bharanasho Mukundaha. In the second shloka of Mukundamala Stotra, Kulashekara Alvar said, Vrishni Vamsha Pradeepa and Prithvi Bharanasho Mukundaha. So he is the one who increases the name and fame of Vrishni Vamsha. Vrishni Vamsho Pradeepo. And he is the one who destroys the adharmic people. Now here is the interesting thing. Within that Vrishni dynasty, Yadu dynasty, there were some adharmic people. Why did they become, how did they become adharmic? Because of the closeness with Krishna. Because they thought, oh, Krishna is in our family. He's in our dynasty. Just like when there is a big politician or powerful celebrity in their family, obviously some of the family members, they get some pride. So something like that happened within the Vrishni dynasty, Yadu dynasty. So Vrishni is a big clan, and the sub clan is Yadu. Okay, and within Yadu there is Satvata dynasty, and there are so many other sub-clans. So that same Krishna who was Vrishni Vamsha Pradeepa, who was increasing the name and fame of Vrishni dynasty, he is the one who made an arrangement to end this Yadu dynasty. Before he ended his Leela, before he ended his avatara in Dwapar Yuga, Krishna wanted to end Vrishni dynasty, Yadu dynasty, especially to clear off that last portion of burden on Prithvi. Before that, Kurukshetra, all the demons were killed, adharmic people, Kauravas were killed, and before that, Kamsa and other demons in Vrindavan, they were all killed. But now the final leg of Shishta Rakshana, final Dushta Shikshana, final leg of Dushta Shikshana is still pending within his own dynasty, within his own, it's a home problem. It's a home problem. So he wanted to resolve that problem within the home, and he wanted to kill those adharmic people and liberate the rest of them, and then he wanted to end his Leela. So why are we discussing this? You will know. Wait for a few minutes. Okay, now Aparna, your turn. You're going to read now. Now we're going to look at some of the details, what kind of arrangement Krishna made to destroy some of the adharmic people in the Yadu dynasty, and how Krishna was planning for his departure. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Canto 11, Chapter 1, titled as The Curse upon the Yadu Dynasty. Yes.
Translation. The Supreme Personality of Godhead used the Yadu dynasty, which was protected by his own arms, to eliminate the kings who with their armies had been the burden of this earth. Then the unfathomable Lord thought him to himself, although some may say that the earth's burden is now gone, in my opinion it's not gone yet, because there still remains the Yādava dynasty itself, whose strength is unbearable for the earth. Purport. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura has remarked in this regard that although ordinary people may think that the Lord had now removed the burden of the earth by killing the demons, re-establishing Dharma, and so on, Lord Sri Krishna himself could detect that there was further danger from the irreligious activities of his own family members who were acting improperly. It is stated in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam that just king will refuse to punish his own enemy if his enemy is innocent, but will punish his own son if his son actually deserves punishment. Thus, although in the eyes of the world, the members of the Lord's own dynasty are always worshipable, Lord Kṛṣṇa detected that by their intimate association with him, some members of the Yadu dynasty had become indifferent to his will. Since such whimsical members of the Yadu dynasty could act freely, being relatives of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they would surely cause great misfortune for the world, and foolish persons would take such whimsical behavior to be the will of Krishna. Thus the Lord, whose desires are inconceivable, began to consider the need to annihilate the indifferent, contemptuous members of the Yadu family. From the viewpoint of ordinary persons, all the demons had been killed by the Supreme Lord's pastimes in Dwaraka and Mathura, as well as by the battle of Kurukshetra, and the earth was now free of its burden. Nevertheless, to free the earth from remaining burden of his own puffed-up family members, Lord Sri Krishna transferred them away from the earth by causing a practical quarrel between them. In this way, he prepared for his own disappearance from the earth. Sridhara Swami has pointed out that the word Bahupi by his arms is used in the plural rather than the dual to indicate that the Lord caused the destruction of the Yadu dynasty in his four-armed form. The original form of Krishna as Govinda is two-armed, but it was by the plenary portion of the four-armed Narayana that the Lord killed all the demons on the earth and ultimately removed the burdensome members of his own family. It may be asked, if certain members of the Yadu family had become indifferent to the will of the Lord, why didn't they oppose the Lord in his plan to remove them from the earth? Therefore, the word aprameya is used, which indicates that it is impossible for anyone, even the Lord's own family members, to understand his will completely. Srila Jiva Goswami has given another reason for the destruction of the Yadu dynasty. He emphasizes that the activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead should never be taken to be ordinary material activities, nor are the Lord's associates ordinary persons. Although Lord Kṛṣṇa apparently incarnates within this world for some time and then goes away, it should be understood that the Supreme Lord is eternally situated with his entourage in various abodes in the spiritual sky, such as Sri Gokula, Mathura, and Dwarka. The members of the Yadu dynasty are eternal associates of the Lord, and therefore they cannot bear to be separated from the Lord. Since Krishna was preparing to give up his earthly pastimes, if he were to leave the Yadu dynasty on the earth, they would surely become so disturbed by his absence that in their highly agitated state of mind, they would trample and destroy the earth. Therefore, Krishna arranged the disappearance of the Yadu dynasty prior to his own disappearance. Srila Jiva Goswami concludes that ultimately the members of the Yadu dynasty are never to be considered irreligious. Vaishnava ācāryas have mentioned that the story of the disappearance of the Yadu dynasty is especially meant to help the conditioned souls achieve liberation from the bondage of materialistic life. Within the three worlds, there were none as powerful and opulent as the Yadu dynasty. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the possessor of unlimited opulences, beauty, strength, knowledge, fame, and so on, and the members of the Yadu dynasty, being in the personal associates of the Lord, were also endowed with inconceivable opulences. Therefore, when we see how practical war suddenly deprived the members of the Yadu dynasty of all their earthly possessions and even their lives, we can understand that there is no permanent position within this material world. In other words, although the members of the Yadu dynasty are eternal associates of the Lord and were immediately transferred to another planet where the Lord was appearing, their sudden disappearance, though practical war, is meant to impress upon the conditioned souls the temporary nature of this world. Therefore, the apparent indifference or enmity of certain members of the Yadu dynasty towards Krishna should not be actual irreligion on their part. The entire situation was arranged by Lord Kṛṣṇa to teach a lesson to the conditioned souls. In this connection, Srila Jiva Goswami has cited several verses from the Bhagavatam to prove that the member of the Yadu dynasty achieved their exalted birth in the Lord's own family by innumerable pious activities and by complete absorption in thought of Lord Kṛṣṇa. In fact, it is said that in sleeping, sitting, walking, and speaking, they were unable to remember their own selves because they were simply thinking of Krishna. In the first canto of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Srila Prabhupada has commented as follows on the disappearance of Yadu dynasty. The setting of the sun does not mean the end of the sun. It means that the sun is out of our sight. Similarly, the end of the mission of the Lord on a particular planet or universe only means that he is out of our sight. The end of the Yadu dynasty also does not mean that it is annihilated. It disappears along with the Lord out of our sight.
Okay. So now this this purport that we read now, it gives an overall understanding of what Krishna was planning to do. He wanted to destroy Yadu dynasty for various reasons. So there is an internal reason, external reason. The external reason is some of the Yadu dynasty members, because of intimate association with Krishna, they became too familiar and they misused that familiarity, and they started misusing their position, and they were performing some adharmic activities. That is the external reason. But actually, the Yadu dynasty members, who are these? they are the eternal associates of Śrī Kṛṣṇa in Gokula, in Goloka Vrindavan. So they cannot be adharmic, but they are playing their role in the entire Leela. So the internal reason is Krishna thought, if he departs to Swadhama, if he departs to Goloka Vrindavana, and the Yadu dynasty members are still, leaving behind in the material world, then they cannot separate, they cannot bear the separation from Krishna. And out of that agony, out of that anxiety and agony, they can cause more disturbance to the earthly planet. So in order to save earthly planet from that mishap, Krishna decided to end Yadu dynasty first before his departure. Okay, now this is the first step. Second step that we are going to look at is how exactly Krishna executed this. Now this is Krishna's plan. What we read now is Krishna's plan. Now how Krishna executed that is given in the same chapter. We will read the translations. Okay.
Prabhuji, like this purport, I think like if we see a drama or something, the stage everything is put, and then the actors come, and then finally they all move, they go away. Like that, the whole Dwaraka also went. Yeah.
Correct. Yeah, that's a good analogy to understand. Yeah, whenever you see any drama, at the end of the drama, everybody will go behind the curtain, and the curtain closes. You can't see them anymore. So like that, Krishna wanted to end the Leela like that. So, okay, so Aparna, you're going to read again now, or maybe someone else. Let's see. Yeah, Srividya, you want to read?
Okay.
Yeah. The same chapter, but we're going to read the translations from all the verses. There are about 20-25 verses. For the next 10 minutes or so, we're going to read all these translations. And as a third step, when we come to the third step, then you will understand why we are starting this Krishna Leela series in a reverse order, from Tirobhava instead of Avirbhava. Okay, yes, go ahead.
The curse upon the Yadu dynasty. This chapter gives a hint of the destruction of the Yadu dynasty, which took place owing to the appearance of an iron club. Hearing this narration is a great impetus for becoming detached from the material world. Lord Sri Kṛṣṇa expertly arranged the great Kurukshetra battle between the Kurus and the Pandavas, and thus removed to a great extent the earth's burden. But the Supreme Lord, whose influence is inconceivable, was not yet satisfied because of the continued presence of the undefeatable Yadu family. The Lord desired to bring about the destruction of the Yadu dynasty so that he could completely wind up his pastimes on the earth and go back to his own abode. Using the pretense of a curse by an assembly of Brahmanas, he withdrew his entire dynasty from the surface of the earth. By Sri Krishna's desire, many great sages headed by Narada and Vishwamitra assembled at the holy place named Pindaraka near the city of Dwaraka. The young boys of the Yadu family, absorbed in a playful mood, also arrived there. These boys dressed Samba in the guise of a pregnant woman about to give birth and inquired from the sages about the fruitfulness of Samba's so-called pregnancy. The sages cursed the mocking boys by saying, "She will give birth to a club that will destroy your family." The Yadus, frightened by this curse, immediately lifted the garment from Samba's abdomen and found a club. Hurrying to the assembly of Ugrasena, the king of the Yadus, they offered a report of everything that had taken place. Fearing the Brahmana's curse, Yaduraja Ugrasena ordered the club ground into powder and thrown into the ocean.
So one
Within
second. So for everyone's understanding, basically club means gada. Okay, Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. So club is that gada. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Within the ocean, a fish swallowed the last remaining lump of iron, and the waves carried all the bits of ground powder to the shore, where they were implanted and eventually grew into a grove of canes. Fishermen caught the fish, and a hunter named Jara used the iron lump found in its belly to fashion an arrow. Although the super soul, Lord Sri Krishna, understood what was happening, he did not wish to do anything to counteract it. Rather, in the form of time, he sanctioned these events. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, no, continue reading this.
Okay. Translation. Sri Sukadeva Goswami said, Lord Sri Krishna, accompanied by Balarama and surrounded by the Yadu dynasty, executed the killing of many demons. Then, further to remove the burden of the earth, the Lord arranged for the great battle of Kurukshetra, which suddenly erupted in violence between the Kurus and the Pandavas.
Now this is a backstory before Krishna decided to kill Yadu dynasty. Yeah.
Text 2. Because the sons of Pandu were enraged by the numerous offenses of their enemies, such as duplicitous gambling, verbal insults, the seizing of Draupadi's hair, and many other cruel transgressions, the Supreme Lord engaged those Pandavas as the immediate cause to execute his will. On the pretext of the battle of Kurukshetra, Lord Krishna arranged for all the kings who were burdening the earth to assemble with their armies on opposite sides of the battlefield, and when the Lord killed them through the agency of war, the earth was relieved of its burden. Text 3. The Supreme Personality of Godhead used the Yadu dynasty, which was protected by his own arms, to eliminate the kings who, with their armies, had been the burden of this earth. Then the unfathomable Lord thought to himself, although some may say that the earth's burden is now gone, in my opinion, it is not yet gone, because there still remains the Yadu dynasty, Yādava dynasty itself, whose strength is unbearable for the earth.
Yeah.
Text 4.
So basically, now in the beginning, some of these points you may see repeating, right? What Aparna read from the purport and what Sri Vidya read in the beginning, the overview section of this chapter. Some of the points may be repeated, but I wanted to read like this only so that some of you, if you missed some points, you will catch those.
Text 4. Lord Krishna thought, no outside force could ever bring about the defeat of this family, the Yadu dynasty, whose members have always been fully surrendered to me and are unrestricted in their opulence. But if I inspire a quarrel within the dynasty, that quarrel will act just like a fire created from the friction of bamboo in a groove, and then I shall achieve my real purpose and return to my eternal abode. Text 5. My dear King Parikshit, when the Supreme Almighty Lord, whose desire always comes to pass, had thus made up his mind, he withdrew his own family on the pretext of a curse spoken by an assembly of Brahmanas.
Okay. So the crucial point, the suspense that I was talking in the beginning, that is there in the verses 6 and 7. So we're going to skip that and we will come back to that in the end.
Text 8. King Parikshit inquired, how could the Brahmanas curse the Vrishnis, who were always respectful to the Brahmanas, charitable and inclined to serve senior and exalted personalities, and whose minds were always...
Hold 1 second, just 1 second. Yes, correct.
Okay. Who were always respectful to the Brahmanas, charitable and inclined to serve senior and exalted personalities, and whose minds were always fully absorbed in thought of Lord Krishna. Text 9. King Parikshit continued inquiring, what was the motive for this curse? What did it consist of? O purest of the twice born, and how could such a disagreement have arisen among the Yadus, who all share the same goal of life? Please tell me all these things.
Yeah. So now so far we heard bits and pieces like an overview. Now Parishit Maharaj, he is asking Shuka Mahamuni, Shukadeva Goswami, to explain this in detail, step by step.
Text 10. Sukadeva Goswami said, "The Lord who bore his body as the amalgamation of everything beautiful, dutifully executed the most auspicious activities while on the earth. Although he was, in fact, without any endeavor, already satisfied in all desires. Residing in his abode and enjoying life, the Lord, whose glorification is in itself magnanimous, now wanted to annihilate his dynasty, as there still remained some small part of his duty to be carried out." Text 11 and 12. The sages Vishwamitra, Sita, Kanva, Durvasa, Bhrigu, Angira, Kashyapa, Vamadeva, Atri, and Vasishta, along with Narada and others, once performed fruitive rituals that awarded abundant pious results, bring great happiness, and take away the sins of Kali Yuga for the whole world by merely being recounted. The sages duly executed these rituals in the home of the chief of the Yadus, Vasudeva, the father of Lord Kṛṣṇa. After Lord Kṛṣṇa, who was staying in Vasudeva's house as time personified, respectfully sent the sages off at the conclusion of the ceremonies, they went to the holy place called Pindaraka. Text 13 and 15. 13 to 15. To that holy place, the young boys of the Yadu dynasty had brought Samba, son of Jambavati, dressed in woman's garb. Playfully approaching the great
So basically,
sages,
Samba is a man. Okay, they dressed all the Yadu boys. They wanted to tease these sages because the sages have the power to predict future things. So these Yadu boys, they wanted to tease the sages. So they dressed up one of their friends, Samba, who is a male, who is a man, like a woman. They dressed him up like a woman and pretending that she's carrying a baby. They went in front of the sages and now they are asking.
Prabhuji, he is son of Krishna, right, Prabhuji? Jambavati's son means he'll be son of... Okay.
Yeah.
By now he'll be very, like, not a boy, he'll be very grown up only. But
yeah, not... he's an adult, definitely. Adult,
yes.
Yeah.
Playfully approaching the great sages.
What, Premamma? Okay, Srividya, continue.
Playfully approaching the great sages gathered there, the boys grabbed hold of the sages' feet and impudently asked them with feigned humility, "O learned Brahmanas, this black-eyed pregnant woman has something to ask you. She is too embarrassed to inquire for herself. She is just about to give birth and is very desirous of having a son. Since all of you are great sages with infallible vision, please tell us whether her child will be a boy or a girl." Text 16. This ridiculed by deceit, the sages became angry, "O king," and told the boys, "Fools, she will bear you an iron club that will destroy your entire dynasty."
Yeah, the sages, they know everything. Okay, when they can predict the future, why can't they see the present? So they know that the Yadu boys, they brought Samba, who is a man in the disguise of a woman. So the sages know everything. That's why they are cursing.
Text
saying
17.
that she will bear you an iron club that will destroy your entire dynasty.
Upon hearing the curse of the sages, the terrified boys quickly uncovered the belly of Samba, and indeed they observed that therein was an iron club. Text 18. The young men of the Yadu dynasty said, "Oh, what have we done? We are so unfortunate. What will our family members say to us?" Speaking thus and being very disturbed, they returned to their homes, taking the club with them. Text 19. The Yadu boys, the lustre of their faces completely faded, brought the club into the royal assembly, and in the presence of all the Yādavas, they told King Ugrasena what had happened. Text 20. O inhabitants of Dwaraka heard of the infallible curse of the Brahmanas and saw the club, they were astonished and distraught with fear.
Yeah, you don't have to say text 21 like that. Just read it like a story.
Okay. After having the club ground to bits, King Ahuka Ugrasena of the Yadus personally threw the pieces along with the remaining lump of iron into the water of the ocean. A certain fish swallowed the iron lump, and the bits of iron carried back to the shore by the waves implanted themselves there and grew into tall, sharp canes. The fish was caught in the ocean along with other fish in a fisherman's net. The iron lump in the fish's stomach was taken by the hunter Jara, who fixed it as an arrowhead at the end of his shaft.
Yeah. So this hunter Jara will do the job of actually hitting the toenail of Krishna with the arrow, and that is how Krishna ends his Leela.
Knowing fully the significance of all these events, the Supreme Lord, though capable of reversing the Brahmana's curse, did not wish to do so. Rather, in his form of time, he gladly sanctioned the events.
These events. Okay. So now you may ask, where is the suspense? Why did we even read about Tirobhava, the disappearance of Krishna, instead of starting from the beginning, right? So now here is the interesting thing. Here is the most interesting part now. Okay. Are you all ready for that?
Sure.
Okay. Okay. Okay, now Krishna was planning for his departure. But how can he plan for his departure without making some arrangement for the welfare of the common men? Now he is going to end the Yadu dynasty also, and he is going to depart. But what about the future people who are going to be born in the next Yuga, Kali Yuga, or other Yugas in the future? What about them? Who is going to take care of them? So the answer is in. And how can Krishna just leave like that from this earth planet? How can Krishna just leave like that? It is like a parent leaving the children behind in some place. Let's say a family goes on a vacation trip. And the parents, they leave the children back behind in that city, Paris or somewhere, and then come back. So how can the children be protected? How will they survive? How can they be protected? Now Krishna talks about that arrangement here, and when you hear that, you'll be mesmerized to see what Krishna has arranged. So in text 6 and 7 of this chapter, Canto 11, chapter 1. So this is what Krishna says. The Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna is the reservoir of all beauty. All beautiful things emanate from him. And his personal form is so attractive that it steals the eyes away from all other objects, which then seem devoid of beauty in comparison to him. When Lord Krishna was on the earth, he attracted the eyes of all people. When Krishna spoke, his words attracted the minds of all who remembered them. By seeing the footsteps of Lord Krishna, people became attracted to him, and thus they wanted to offer their bodily activities to the Lord as his followers. In this way, Krishna very easily spread his glories, which are sung throughout the world by the most sublime and essential Vedic verses. Lord Krishna considered that, now this is the climax part, this is the suspense revelation. Lord Krishna considered that simply by hearing and chanting those glories, conditioned souls born in the future would cross beyond the darkness of ignorance. Being satisfied with this arrangement, he left for his desired destination. Krishna Kathā ki jai. Krishna Kathā ki jai.
Jai.
So, I don't know how many of you understood what we read now. Show your thumbnail or some symbol on the Zoom call. Raise your hand or something if you understood what we read now. Okay? Good. Because it is very easy to miss the point that we read. If you're not paying attention, it's easy to miss the point. So I'll go back again and read it. Swapna, అర్థమైందా?
లేదు అర్థం కాలేదు, అది ఆలోచిస్తున్నాను.
ఓకే, నేను రేపు టెంపుల్లో చెప్తాను నీకు. ఓకే
ఓకే,
యా, ఇప్పుడు మళ్ళీ చెప్తాను, బట్ రేపు టెంపుల్లో నీకు మళ్ళీ
అదే
చెప్తాను. యా.
థ్యాంక్ యూ.
Lord Krishna considered that simply by hearing and chanting those glories, Krishna Katha, in simple words, Krishna Katha. Simply by hearing Krishna Katha, conditioned souls like all of us, born in the future in Kali Yuga and other yugas, would cross beyond the darkness of ignorance. That means we will be able to get liberation from this material world simply by hearing Krishna Katha. Being satisfied with this arrangement, he left for his desired destination. Now look at this, how wonderful this is. How thoughtful Krishna was. Huh? How much bhakta vatsalyata Krishna has. Now, did anyone ask Krishna? The reason why we are all in the material world is we wanted to be away from Krishna. But Krishna, just like a parent, like a mother and father, he is making this arrangement. Just like when the parent is actually departing after ripened old age, after 80, 90 years, the parent will make all necessary arrangements for the child to, the parent will make all the necessary arrangement for the child so that the child will have no problem in maintaining the livelihood or living happily. Not only the children, but the children also, the grandchildren also. The parents will make arrangements for next 2 to 3 generations. And those people will take care of the future generations. And the cycle will continue like that. So what is the sampatti? What is the wealth that Krishna is leaving behind? Krishna is leaving behind the sampatti of Krishna Katha. Krishna said, simply by hearing my glory, simply by hearing my Leelas, simply by hearing Krishna Kathamritam, people will get liberated. They will be able to tolerate and overcome the problems in the material world. Being satisfied with this arrangement, he left for his desired destination. What a beautiful thing. Let me recite the shloka also. Swamurtaya lokalavanya स्वमूर्तया लोकलावण्या निर्मुक्त्यालोचनं नृणां गिर्भिस्ता स्मरतां चित्तं पदैस्तान् ईक्षतां क्रियाः आच्छिद्य कीर्तिं सुश्लोकं वितया ह्यज्ञसानुकौ तमोनया तरिष्यन्तीत्यघात् स्वं पदमीश्वरः. Kirtim sushlokam. This is the most important word in this entire thing. Kirtim sushlokam. Kirtim means to glorify Śrī Kṛṣṇa, to talk about Krishna Līlā, to discuss Krishna Līlā. With what? With sushlokam, with the best shlokas, with the choicest poetry. And what are those sushlokams? We are going to do in the series in the coming days. And we are going to do this Kirtim. We are going to sing the glories of Krishna Bhagavan. We are going to sing the Leelas of Krishna in Vrindavan with the sushlokam. And this is the arrangement Krishna has made for all of us. Before he left for his Swadhama, Krishne Swadhamopagate Dharmajnanadibhi saha Kalau nashtadrushamesha Puranarko dhunoditaha. When Krishna has departed to his Swadhama, Dharma Jnana also have left along with him. And then Krishna has appeared in the book form, in the form of Bhagavatam. This Bhagavata Purana is compared to sun, Purana Arka. Just like how sun dissipates the darkness, similarly, this Krishna, Bhagavata Purana, which is none other than Krishna himself, dissipates, removes the ill effects of Kali. Just like in the morning, especially in winter season, right? As soon as you wake up in the morning, until 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock also, you'll see some fog in the sky. And the moment the sun starts rising, not even fully, but the moment sun starts rising little bit, you'll see the fog getting dissipated. So Bhagavatam is like that. As soon as one starts reading Bhagavatam, not fully, but even little bit, even some portions, small portions of Bhagavatam, some shlokas, some purports, some charitam, some stories from Bhagavatam, then our darkness slowly starts getting dissipated. Kechit kevalaya bhaktya vasudeva parayanaha agam dhunvanti karshneya niharam iva bhaskaraha. Niharam means fog. Bhaskara means sun. Kechit kevalaya bhaktya. If one, by love and devotion, by prema, bhakti for Bhagavan, Kechit kevalaya bhakta, that kevala bhakti, nishtala bhakti, ananya bhakti, ekanta bhakti, Kechit kevalaya bhaktya, vasudeva parayanaha. If one takes shelter of Vasudeva Krishna, agam dhunvanti karshneya, that will destroy their sins. Agam means sins, dhunvanti, washing. Agam dhunvanti karshneya, niharam iva bhaskaraha. Just like how sun dissipates the fog, similarly, Krishna will dissipate the darkness in our hearts. So this is how Krishna made this arrangement. Krishna made an arrangement at the time of creating the people, at the time of Srishti. Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, shloka number 10, Saha yajna praja srishtva puro vacha prajapatihi anena prasavishyadvam eshavostvishta kamaduk. Krishna said, at the time of, in the beginning of creation, I have sent forth generations of men, and along with that, I have provided enough supplies so that everybody can live happily. The supplies. like everything that you see in the nature, everything that is provided by the nature, the fruits, vegetable, flowers, grains, milk, all these things. Krishna said, I have provided all these things so that people can live happily.
Right.
They can live happily, and this is for their livelihood when they are living in their lifetime. And Krishna also had made an arrangement, just the shloka that we read from Bhagavatam now, 11th canto, that simply by hearing Krishna Katha, one can get liberation. One can get relief from the ill effects of Kali Yuga. See, look at Krishna's heart, that Vatsalya Bhava, love and affection for his children. So when you contemplate on this, tonight when you are sleeping or tomorrow during the day, just meditate on this one point, that just before leaving for his Swadama, Krishna made this arrangement and he thought, he was satisfied. Just like the parents, initially they will provide, they will accumulate, let's say 1 million for the children. And then the father will think, oh, 1 million may not be sufficient. Let me accumulate another 1 million. And then after that, the father will feel, okay, now I am satisfied. Now even if I die any time, there's no problem. My children will be living happily. Their children also will live happily. And I can rest in peace. So that is the mood Krishna was thinking actually. That I am satisfied. I have made this arrangement for my children now, and I am satisfied. And he blessed everyone to hear Krishna Katha and be happy. So that is what we are going to do. This is the reason why we started from Tiro Bhava instead of Avir Bhava. So now in the next few days, it's already 10 o'clock today, but I'm going to show you the teaser slide for what's coming up tomorrow. Because we're going to jump in an ocean. So we cannot jump in the ocean all of a sudden, right? Leela Kallola Varidi. Welcome to Leela Kallola Varidi of Śrī Kṛṣṇa Bhagavan ki Jai. The endless ocean of divine pastimes. We cannot just jump into the ocean without much preparation. So today's class was full of preparation, setting the mood to absorb this Krishna Leela series for the next 30 days or so. And the importance of Krishna Katha in his own words of Krishna, actually, in his own thought process of Krishna. Shukadeva Goswami was narrating that, but it is the thought process of Krishna. It is the heart of Krishna. It is the mind and heart of Krishna. This is the Bhakta Vatsalyata. This is the Yoga Kshemam Vahamyaham for his children. Leela Kallola Varidi, the endless ocean of divine pastimes, exploring the unparalleled sweetness of Śrī Kṛṣṇa's activities. And I have titled this series as Venugopala Krishna Leela in Vrindavan. Now, Venugopala Krishna is a popular name for South Indians. South Indians, many people, they know Venugopala Swami. But North Indians, they may not call him as Venugopala Swami or Venugopala Krishna. They'll call as Radha Krishna, Radha Raman, Radha Govind, Radha Madan Mohan, like that. But why Venugopala Swami? Or why Venugopala Krishna? Because Venu is the very identity of Krishna. Venu is the very identity. That is the most important identity of Krishna. You see any shloka spoken by any ācārya, any devotee, any character in Bhagavatam, they will not glorify without Venu. The most recent Adi Shankaracharya Jagannāthashtakam. Kadāchit kālindī tata vipina sangīta karavo mudhabhīrī nārī vadana kamala svāda madhupa Rama Shambhu Brahma Marapati Ganesharchita pado Jagannatha Swami Nayana Patagami Bhavatu me Bhuje Savye Venum Shirasi Shiki Pincham Katitate Dukulam Netrante Sahachara Kataksham Vidadate. So like that, in the first two shlokas of Jagannāthashtakam, we see the Venu is being glorified. In the Brahma prayers, Naumidhyate Bravapuse Tadidhambaraya Gunjavatam Saparipichala Sanmukaya Vanyasraje Kavala Vetra Vishana Venu Lakshmashriye Mridupade Pashupangajaya. There are also Brahma prayers, Venu. Kavala Vetra Vishana Venu.
Prabhuji, in the picture behind you, the most important.
There is a Venu. Every day this Venu has been waiting actually. Every day this Venu has been waiting. When will my turn come? So actually today when I prepared that flyer and showed it to my daughter looked at that, and when she read the title, Venugopala Krishna Leela in Vrindavan, she asked me, so are you going to speak about Venu Gita? Because in Bhagavatam there is a section called Venu Gita. The song of Krishna's flute as sung by gopis. So I told her, no, it's not Venu Gita. We will discuss about Venu Gita also. But we are talking about Venugopala Krishna. And how is Krishna's introduction in Vrindavan? Now this is all teaser, this is all trailer, okay? We are not going into detail, but I'm just telling what's coming up in the next few weeks. So the introduction of Krishna in Vrindavan. As Krishna enters into Vrindavan, what do the gopis and gopa boys sing? Barha pidam natavaravapu karnayor karnikaram Vibhradvasa kanaka kapisham vaijayantim chamalam Randran venu radara sudaya purayan gopa vrindai Vrindaranyam swapadaramanam pravishad gita kirtihi. Venu. As Krishna is entering, they are describing, Gopa boys are describing, Krishna is wearing Mayur Panka, Krishna is wearing, he's holding a flute, wearing Pitambaram, all those, wearing Vaijayanti Mala, all those things. I wish Krishna was born with flute, but Krishna was born in Chaturbhuja form as Narayana. That's why he was not born with flute, but he was born with Shankha Chakra Gada Padma. But if Krishna was born as two-handed form, maybe. At the time of birth, as soon as Devaki Devi delivered Krishna, we will see flute there. And Shukadeva Goswami would have included that Venu also in Krishna Janma Leela Shloka. So like that, Yasyananam Makara Kundala Charu Karna Brajat Kapola Shubhagam Savilasa Hasam Nityotsavam Natatrupur Drishivi Pibhantyo Naryo Narascha Kupita Mudita Nimescha. This is the shloka sung by gopis describing the beauty of Krishna. So in almost every shloka, we will see this Venu being used to describe the beauty of Krishna. So this is the very identity of Krishna. That's why Venu. And Gopala is Govinda Gopala, the protector of the cows, protector of the Gopa boys, the leader of the Gopa boys, protector of gopis. Govinda Gopala, they have both similar names, similar meanings. So that's why Venu Gopala Krishna. So we're going to discuss the Venu Gopala Krishna Leela in Vrindavan, starting with Krishna's Avirbhava, Krishna's Janma Leela Shloka. Tamadbhutam balakamambujekṣhanam chaturbhujam shankagadadyudayudam Srivatsalakshmam ghalashobikaustubam Pītambaram sandrapayodashaubhagam Maharhavaidurya kirita kuntalam Uddhama kanchanganakankanaadibihi Virochamanam Vasudeva Aikshata. So we're going to start with that. But before that, we're going to tomorrow, we will start with this Leela Kallola Varidhi, which is the favorite topic for Ramesh Garu. Probably Ramesh Garu were waiting for this topic today. That's why he joined a little early today. But I'm disappointing him. I'm keeping him in suspense until tomorrow. Okay, so with this, we will pause here. Any comments, questions, reflections, anybody?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
I think what you're going to take tomorrow, I read something similar. Canto 2, chapter 7, texts 34 and 35, I guess, or 30 to 34. So Brahmaji has named everybody, whoever he killed, whoever he dealt with, or whoever he showered mercy upon. In those two shloka, he named everybody. So I think your teaser is already up for me.
Yeah, I have a slide for that also. All the demons that Krishna killed. And in Govinda Damodara Stotram also, there is a shloka.
Correct. I remembered of that only when I read that.
Yeah.
But in this one, even Arjuna and all his devotees as well as enemies, both are covered together in the same.
Yeah.
So it's like when he killed so many and when he can do so much for them, he delivered all these people who were his enemies. Imagine what can he do for his devotees.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was the shloka. I already got the teaser.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna. ప్రభుజీ మీరు లీలా కల్లోల వారధి అంటే నాకు ఇంకొక నేమ్ నిన్న ఒక తిరుమల వీడియోస్ వింటుంటే ఒక పేరు వచ్చింది ప్రభుజీ, ఉన్మిత్త తింత్రిణి వృక్షము అని వచ్చింది ప్రభుజీ. ఉన్మిత్త తింత్రిణి అంటే చింత చెట్టు అంట. వెంకటేశ్వర స్వామి ఫస్ట్ ఆ చెట్టు కింద పుట్టలోనే అక్కడికి వచ్చారంట వైకుంఠం నుంచి వెంకటేశ్వర స్వామి.
కరెక్ట్.
ఆ పేరు నాకు బాగా స్ట్రైక్ అయింది ప్రభుజీ, ఉన్మిత్త తింత్రిణి అని, లీలా కల్లోల వారధి.
కృష్ణలీలలో అన్ని ప్రతిదీ ఒక చెట్టు పుట్ట అన్ని ఒక దూడ అన్ని ఇంపార్టెంట్, అన్ని స్పెషలే.
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభుజీ.
హరే కృష్ణ ప్రభు. చెప్పండి.
ఇంట్రడక్షన్ చాలా బాగుంది.
నేను ప్లాన్ చేసింది వేరేలాగా, కానీ లాస్ట్ ఇలాగా నేను ఇప్పుడు చెప్పినట్టుగా ఎప్పుడంటే ఈవినింగ్ అంటే ఒక 2 hours ముందు ఇలా డిజైన్ అయింది ఇదంతా. అంతవరకు నేను ప్లాన్ చేసింది లీలా కల్లోల వారిది. మార్నింగ్ నుంచి ఆ స్లైడ్స్ దాని మీద చేస్తున్నాను, అదే చెప్పాలనుకున్నాను ఇవాళ. కానీ somehow Krishna inspired me 2 hours before the class. This is the format.
ఫ్లాష్ బ్యాక్ లాగా చెప్తున్నారు ప్రభుజీ.
ఫ్లాష్ బ్యాక్, కరెక్ట్. యా, ఇప్పుడు బాహుబలి 1 లో కట్టప్ప ఎందుకు చంపాడు,
ఎందుకు అంటే కృష్ణ మనందరికీ కూడా ఈ యొక్క భాగవతం అనే అమృతమైన భాండాగారాన్ని ప్రజల్ని ఇవ్వాలనే ఉద్దేశంతో అతను నారదుని పంపించాడనమాట వ్యాసు దగ్గరికి, ఇది రాయమని చెప్పి.
అవును,
వాట్ ఐ అండర్స్టాండ్ ఫ్రమ్ యువర్ వర్డ్స్ అండ్
కరెక్ట్. యా, వ్యాసదేవుడు అన్ని మిగతా వేదాలు, అన్ని రకాల పురాణాలు అన్ని రాసిన తర్వాత ఇంకా డిసాటిస్ఫాక్షన్, అసంతృప్తి ఉన్నది. అప్పుడు నారదముని వచ్చి భగవంతుడి గురించి, కృష్ణుడి గురించి రాయమని చెప్తారు.
అలాగే ఇది మన గాంధారి యొక్క కర్సుని ఎలా అర్థం చేసుకోవాలి?
గాంధారి యొక్క శాపం కూడా ఈ యదు వంశ అంటే ఇప్పుడు
కృష్ణ ప్లాన్ చేసేటప్పుడు గాంధారి శాపం లేదు. అంటే అతని మైండ్ లో ఉండి ఉంటుందేమో కానీ
దానికన్నా ముందే గాంధారి శాపము దానికన్నా ముందే అయింది కదా. కృష్ణుడు ఇలా ప్లాన్ చేయకముందే గాంధారి శాపం అయింది. ఎందుకంటే కౌరవులందరినీ చంపేసిన తర్వాత అప్పుడు దాని తర్వాత మళ్ళీ ఇంకా కృష్ణ కొంతకాలం ఇంకా పరిపాలించిన తర్వాత అప్పుడు ఇంకా అవతారం చాలించాలనుకున్నారు. కానీ అంతకన్నా ముందే గాంధారి శాపం ఉంది.
యుద్ధం అయిపోయిన వెంటనే ఉంటది కదా.
అదే, యుద్ధం అయిపోయినాక ఉంటది. తర్వాత కొన్ని సంవత్సరాలకి కృష్ణుడు యదువంశాన్ని కలహాలు సృష్టించి యదువంశాన్ని అంతం చేసి తర్వాత స్వధామానికి వెళ్ళిపోవాలనుకున్నారు. సో అది అంటే ఇప్పుడు మనకి
ఇక్కడ 2 పాయింట్లు. అందరినీ వాళ్ళ సెలెస్టియల్ బాడీస్ కి ఎక్కడైతే వాళ్ళ ప్రదేశాలను పంపించడం ఒకటి, తను ఎలా డిజైపారో వాళ్ళని కూడా ప్లాన్ చేసుకున్నాడు.
అవును,
ఆ వెళ్తూ భావి తరాలకి అదొక అద్భుత భాండాగారం లాగా మిగిల్చాలనే ఉద్దేశంతో బ్యూటిఫుల్ ప్లాన్ అనేది ఏర్పడింది.
అవును, ఇప్పుడు భగవంతుడు మనసులో ఏమనుకుంటారో అదే టైంలో ఇలాంటి క్యారెక్టర్స్ ఇంకొకళ్ళు ఎవరైనా అలా ప్లాన్ చేస్తారు. ఇప్పుడు భగవంతుడికి మంచి ఒక యుద్ధం చేయాలని మనసులో ఒక కోరిక కలిగింది అనుకోండి, అప్పుడు ఏమవుతుందంటే రావణాసురుడు ఇలాంటి వాళ్ళు సీతమ్మని అపహరించడము అలాంటి జరుగుతాయి.
మెయిన్ ప్లాన్ is from God.
Yeah.
And we are all
instruments
for that.
Yeah, we're all instruments. So at the time it is not because Ravanasura he wanted to kill Sitam, he wanted to abduct Sitamma. No, Krishna Ramachandra, he had some fighting spirit. He likes fighting. He's Stuti Stotar and Ranapriya. He's Ranapriya. He likes fighting. So when he makes a desire to have when he comes in some fighting spirit, coincidentally at the same time somebody is creating a problem, some demon is creating a problem, and then so Bhagavan also fulfills his fighting spirit. Similarly, as Krishna is making a plan, because right after Kurukshetra war is over, then pretty much everything is done. All the demons were killed in Dwaraka, in Mathura, and here in Kurukshetra, all the demons were killed. Now Krishna thought, okay, my avatara purpose is fulfilled now, I can end my Leela. As Krishna is thinking and making a plan, at the same time Gandhari did that shapam.
Yeah.
So that is the external reason.
Coincidence.
coincidental. And what Krishna is planning, that is internal reason. But the important thing is that Krishna is leaving this Bhandagaram, this wealth, this treasure of wealth, Bhagavatam, Krishna Kathā wealth for all of us. That is what I wanted to highlight. So if somebody is reading that chapter, 11th canto, first chapter, just like that, like a story, you may not catch that point. But today when I was reading this, I thought this is very beautiful. This is the most beautiful point. It is like, you are digging in your backyard and you find some lanke bindalu, some gold and treasure you find. So it is like that.
అందుకనే ఆ విషయాన్ని 6లో 7లో పెట్టారు. అందుకనే ఆ విషయాన్ని చాప్టర్ 6 and 7లో పెట్టి.
ప్రభుజీ, మీరు రామాయణం స్టార్ట్ చేసినప్పుడు చెప్పారు కదా ప్రభుజీ, ద స్టార్టింగ్ సీమ్స్ టు బి లైక్ నెగటివ్ థింగ్, లైక్ స్టార్ట్స్ విత్ ద కర్డ్స్, లైక్ వాల్మీకి ముని చెప్తారు కదా. సో
అవును,
అలానే మనం కూడా స్టార్ట్ చేసాం.
కరెక్ట్. మనం కూడా యదు వంశ కర్స్.
బట్ ఇట్స్ బ్లెస్సింగ్ ఇన్ డిస్గైజ్ అన్నట్టు మీరు చెప్పారు.
Yeah, because of the curse, Krishna made a plan to leave for Swadama, and then before that he made an arrangement for all of us.
Hare Krishna.
There was actually a movie currently, Prabhuji. I don't know if anybody else seen. It's Krishna, Śrī Kṛṣṇa, Hridayam. The first part 1, Hridayam it is. It will be multiple parts will come, it seems. So first part is Hridayam. In that movie, they start with this Tirubhava, and it ends also with Tirubhava.
Okay.
I was actually thinking like that. But actually, you made a new concept only. Like you are creating. Okay, if we are going, Krishna is not there. What is there for us is Krishna in Nama form, and now we are going to continue this to bring him back to life. Is what you are doing, right?
Yes.
Something very different.
Yeah, we're going to start with Avirbhava, and then we're going to end the series with Tirubhava.
Okay. That will be same then.
Yeah.
I was thinking like you are starting now because you want to do birth during the birthday, like you're going in that situation.
Starting with birth, we're going to do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Chappan.
కృష్ణుడు వాళ్ళ వంశమైనా కూడా చెడు పనులు చేయడం వల్ల తన పరాని భేదం లేకుండా సంహరణ, లోక సంగ్రహం కోసము, లోక సంగ్రహమేవాపి సంపశ్యన్ కర్తుమర్హసి లాగా ఆయన కర్తవ్యము, సరైన కర్తవ్యం ఏంటంటే లోకహితము. కాబట్టి ఆయన తన పరభేదం లేకుండా ఒక రచన చేసి తను ఆ పని చేశారు. అది ఎలాగంటే కృష్ణం వందే జగద్గురుం లాగా ఆయనకి మనకు ఒక కర్తవ్యం ఏంటంటే మన జన్మకు ఉన్నటువంటి కర్తవ్యాన్ని మనకు ఎయిమ్గా, లక్ష్యంగా మహాభారతంలో తనకి తానుగా చెప్పుకుంటూ మనకి పెట్టారు. కీర్తించి కానీ అంటే ఒక ఆశ్వాసనలాగా, అంటే మీరు ఆధ్యాత్మికంగా ఉన్నప్పుడు ఈ విధంగా మీరు నన్ను చేరుకోవచ్చు అనే విధంగా చేసి పెట్టడానికి ఆయన మనకు ఒక శిష్యులకి ఏ విధంగా ఒక గురువు చేయాలో ఆ భద్రతని, ఆ బాధ్యతని సరిగ్గా చేస్తూ మనకు ఒక ఎయిమ్గా ఇచ్చి ఈ లోకానికి ఇచ్చి వెళ్ళారని నేను అనుకున్నాను.
అవును, వండర్ఫుల్, బ్యూటిఫుల్, బాగా చెప్పారు, చాలా బాగా చెప్పారు. కరెక్ట్. యాజ్ ఎ కృష్ణం వందే జగద్గురు.
ఇంకొకటి ఏంటంటే ఇప్పుడు మీరు ఈ కథ చెప్పడం వల్ల, తిరోగం నుంచి స్టార్ట్ చేయడం వల్ల ఆ ఒక ఉద్దేశం ఏంటి అని మనం తెలుసుకొని మనకి ఇంకో కొంచెం భక్తి భావన, శ్రద్ధ మనకి ఊరికనే వినకుండా ఆయన అంత చేశారు కదా మనం కూడా విని ఇది మనకి ఏం కాదా అనే ఒక శ్రద్ధ కూడా మనకి కలుగుతుందని నేను అనుకుంటున్నాను.
కరెక్ట్, ఎక్సలెంట్. అదే నా ఉద్దేశం కూడా, అదే అర్థం అవ్వాలి అందరికీ. ఏదో కృష్ణ కథ సిరీస్ లాగా స్టార్ట్ చేసుకొని స్టోరీస్ చెప్పుకుంటూ పోతే ఆ సీరియస్నెస్, కృష్ణుడి మీద ఆ భక్తి, ఆ ఫీలింగ్స్, ఆ ఎమోషన్స్ అవి రావు మనకి. ఎప్పుడైతే కృష్ణుడు మనకి ఇలా ఒక అరేంజ్మెంట్, ఒక తండ్రిలాగా ఇలా అరేంజ్మెంట్ చేసి మన బాగోగుల కోసం అరేంజ్మెంట్ చేసి వెళ్ళాడు. ఆ చేస్తున్నప్పుడు కూడా ఓకే నౌ ఐఎమ్ సాటిస్ఫైడ్, చాలు ఈ భాగవతం ఇస్తే చాలు వీళ్ళకి అనుకొని ఆ తృప్తితోటి వెళ్ళిపోయారు. అది ఆ ఒక్క విషయం తలుచుకుంటేనే అసలు మనకి కృష్ణుడి పట్ల చాలా ఫీలింగ్స్, ఆ ఎమోషన్స్ రావాలి.
మన అనే భావన ఆయన అందరికీ నేను ఉన్నాను అనే భావాన్ని కల్పించిపోయాడు దాని ద్వారా. అంటే ఎవరు బాధపడకండి, ఏ విషయంలో ఉన్నా మీకు తోడుగా ఉన్నాను, మీకు ఈ విధంగా ఉన్నాను అని చెప్పడానికి ఆయన ప్రయత్నం చేశారని నేను అనుకుంటున్నాను.
అవును, కరెక్ట్.
హరే కృష్ణ.
హరే కృష్ణ. గుడ్. ఓకే,
తన వంశాన్నే తను ఇలా నాశనం చేయటం వల్ల నాకెవరి పట్ల కూడా వెస్టెడ్ ఇంట్రెస్ట్ లేదు, పార్షియాలిటీ లేదు. అండ్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో ఏ మెసేజ్ టు ది ఫ్యూచర్ జనరేషన్స్.
అవును,
మీరు కూడా మీ యొక్క లక్ష్మణ రేఖను దాటకుండా మీరు భగవంతుడి పట్ల ఎలా అనురక్తితో ఉంటారో వాళ్ళకి అనేకమైన సుకృతులు నేను కలగజేయటానికి నేను సిద్ధంగా ఉన్నాను అనేది కూడా ఇట్ ఈస్ ఆల్సో వన్ మెసేజ్, ఐ థింక్.
అవును, కరెక్ట్. అది కూడా వండర్ఫుల్ పాయింట్. సమూహం సర్వభూతేషు నమే ద్వేషోస్తి న ప్రియ. సో భగవంతుడు అందరి పట్ల సమానంగానే ఉంటాడు, కానీ తన భక్తుల పట్ల కొంచెం ప్రియంగా ఉంటాడు. భక్తులంటే కొంచెం ప్రియంగా ఉంటాడు, వాళ్ళ పట్ల వాత్సల్యత చూపిస్తాడు. అండ్ ఎవరైనా తప్పు చేస్తే అది సొంత మనుషులైనా ఎవరైనా కూడా వాళ్ళని సంహారం చేయడానికి ఏమాత్రం ఆలోచించరు. ధర్మ పరిపాలన కోసం ఎవరైనా సరే చూడరన్నమాట అక్కడ. ఇది గుడ్. ఓకే. మంగళం కౌసలేంద్రాయ మహనీయ గుణాత్మనే చక్రవర్తి తనూజాయ సార్వభౌమాయ మంగళం. శ్రీకృష్ణ కథామృతం కీ జై. వేణుగోపాల కృష్ణ లీలా కథామృతం కీ జై. థ్యాంక్ యూ ఎవ్రీవన్. హరే కృష్ణ.
హరే కృష్ణ.
హరే కృష్ణ.
హరే కృష్ణ.